Republican senators who have already said they're not going to delay the Sonia Sotomayor hearings are now saying they will do just that after being threatened by the far right of their own party. This is a new poll suggests if they don't vote for Sotomayor, they could fall even more out of favor with voters than they already have. Our third story in the countdown, Republican senators in the middle as the Christian right ratchets up the rhetoric and the rational people demand it be tamped down. The Ipsos McClatchy poll found 42% of Hispanics said they would look less favorably at Republicans if GOP senators do not vote to confirm her. The poll also highlights an even bigger problem, perhaps, for Republicans. 37% of all voters said they would feel even less favorably toward the GOP than they do if senators oppose the confirmation. And now Republicans have to deal with the Christian right in the form of Operation Rescue founder Randall Terry, who said this yesterday.
Mr. McCain, Senator Brownback, a vote for Sotomayor is a vote for Roe. If you confirm Judge Sotomayor, the blood of the babies that will die because of her rulings is on your hands. It's way past the hour when these politicians can lie to us. If they say that they want to overturn Roe, but they vote for Sotomayor, it is either hypocrisy, cowardice, or treachery. And the pro-life movement and the faithful Republican base has had it with being lied to.
It's Randall Terry. Let's bring in MSNBC political analyst, Newsweek senior editor Jonathan Alter. Good evening, John.
Hi, Keith.
What happens if Republicans simply ignore rhetoric like that?
Well, they'd be well advised to do so if they don't want to go the way of the Whigs. You know, they have to make a fundamental decision here. What kind of party do they want to be? Do they want to be an extremist party? Or do they want to be a center-right party, as it's called, that has a chance of getting some independent votes, which is where elections in our country are decided. And if they vote against Sotomayor, it doesn't necessarily, hurt them in getting those independent votes down the road, because most people don't keep score on who's voting for who. So they can vote with Randall Terry on this. But if they go the way of Newt Gingrich and start calling her a racist and really antagonize Latino voters, they're done in American politics. I mean, demographics is destiny, and they cannot continue down this path of alienating millions and millions of voters and expect to be viable.
Why does every stop on this highway look like it's absolutely new to them? Why do they seem surprised by this as if it is a highway they don't know anything about? I mean, Limbaugh, Cheney, Randall Terry, all on these attacks that seem designed to reduce the number of Republicans, let alone people who will vote for them. I mean, it's Captain Reynaud in Casablanca. Yeah. I'm shocked to discover that there's gambling on here. Do they really not know that this is the way the country is headed, and they seem to be backing up on the wrong side of the road in the other direction?
Well, Randall Terry is just a fanatic, so he's not interested in party building. And Rush Limbaugh is an entertainer, as you convey so well on this program. And the questions about people like Newt Gingrich, who the other day attacks Obama for saying he's a citizen of the world and forgets that there's tape of Ronald Reagan saying the same thing. So, some of their leaders are just getting a little long in the tooth, and it'll be very interesting to see how people like Tim Pawlenty, the outgoing governor of Minnesota, how he'll do. He's running for president. It may be that there's going to be room for some new faces, and it won't necessarily be, Sarah Palin, Newt Gingrich, or Mitt Romney. There could be some other people involved. They've got to, as Obama said in 2007, turn the page. If they don't turn the page from these clowns, they're in trouble.
Although I understand Sarah Palin may get the job as band leader on The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien, because that might really work well for her at this point. John Kyle said something fascinating. Now, he might not show up for the hearings if the Democrats don't agree to postpone the schedule, thus giving the Republicans more time to complain about it. What is the threat in this non-threat? And B, is there anything the Democrats can do to make him and other Republicans sort of enforce this for the rest of till the next set of Senate elections?
Well, first of all, it's commonplace on Capitol Hill for there to be a lot of empty chairs in a hearing room. So the fact that a senator is not present on a given day is hardly unusual. who cares if John Kyle doesn't show up? The complaint has no merit to it. The number of days between when Sotomayor was announced and when the hearings start and when they're expected to be completed are precisely the same as they were for John Roberts. So it's not like the Democrats are, ramming this thing through. This is one of those things. It's sort of like an empty gesture. I don't think he's going to get a lot of company. I don't think the Democrats are losing a lot of sleep over it. The reaction to most of these things is just kind of like, can anyone here play this game? It's like you show up and you're playing, Palookaville.
This is my government class, the lab at Cornell, where they made me be a politician, and the rule book said, whatever happens, issue a press release, either claiming credit for it or saying you were going to stop it. That's what this is now, just at this point? Just the press release is the issue, not the actual outcome.
Yes. I mean, they need to both signal their base, that they're standing up for, quote, Republican principles, unquote, and not antagonize the Latinos that live in their state. And John Kyle has a lot in Arizona. So he's walking a fine line. John Cornyn from Texas is walking a fine line. And it's fun to watch him do so.
Good luck putting the baseball through the car wash without getting it wet, as they say. Jonathan Alter of Newsweek and MSNBC. Thanks for coming in. Have a great weekend, John.
Thanks, Keith. You too.
Countdown's number 2 story tonight's worst persons in the world. The bronze to Andrew Breitbart, the self-announced conscience of conservative Hollywood. Population 12. When the website Gawker noted that the Holocaust Museum terrorist James von Brunn was a right-wing extremist, a description soon after confirmed by the Department of Homeland Security and by the guy's own writings, Breitbart left a voicemail for Gawker, which the website transcribed as follows, and this is cleaned up. I'm basically fuming, and I'm reading your blank at Gawker right now, saying that this guy's a right-wing extremist, and it's such a blanking slander on people like me. This guy was after neocons like me who are conservative. He had the address of the Weekly Standard there. Conservatives believe in individual liberty. They don't believe in groups' rights. This guy's a multiculturalist, just like the black studies and the lesbian studies majors on college campuses. This guy was a 9/11 truther. This guy's hardly a right-winger. Which do you think there are more of? Right-wing extremists who hate the Weekly Standard and are 9/11 truthers, or left-wingers who are anti-Semitic, racist, and carry shotguns into Holocaust museums? The runner-up, Boss Limbaugh, I will repeat my assertion from yesterday. I think he has now gone insane. Actually, the president said that preventive efforts will significantly help the healthcare system. And as an example, if we can get somebody, first of all, who is overweight to lose weight so that they don't become diabetic, we save tons of money. Evidently, Mr. Limbaugh decided President Obama was talking about him. And so Rush decided it was time to reveal that the people who are taxing the healthcare system are those who stay in shape.
You heard him say, the overweight. Yeah, folks, I got to tell you something. I think those of you that regularly exercise, playing softball, baseball, basketball, soccer, mountain biking, running, rock climbing, skiing, skating, running, you're the people getting injured. You're the people showing up at the hospital with busted knees and tendons and skin cancer, ankle sprains, knee and hip replacements, broken bones, concussions, muscle, ligament, tendon, cartilage strains and tears, tendinitis, rotator cuff tears. All you exercise freaks, you're the ones putting stress on the healthcare system. What happens when people don't regularly exercise, keep their weight relatively under control? Nothing. They probably don't even know their doctor's names. So you're urged to go out there and do all of this stuff, and you're ending up in a hospital all the time with these injuries, and some people think these injuries are badges of honor. Knee surgery scars, a badge of honor, shows toughness. Yeah, toughness somebody else has to pay for.
So the health of the healthcare system can be assured if you sit on your ass and do nothing. Look what it's done for Rush. But our winner, blogger Michelle Malkin, who has reacted to a story now denied by General Petraeus, that Obama ordered the FBI to read Miranda rights to detainees in Afghanistan. General Petraeus says it's not true, but this is how Malkin illustrated her blog post on the subject. This is what she thinks is funny. The second jet going into the World Trade Center, photoshopped by some subhumans at a place called the People's Cube to include that dialogue balloon reading, Muhammad, shouldn't we read them their Miranda rights first? Just kidding, man. Taking time out from her years of using 9/11 references and imagery to try to terrorize this country into submission, Ms. Malkin now proves, if there had been any lingering doubt, what a very sad and very pathetic person she really is. Michelle Malkin, today's worst person in the world.